What is up, guys? This is Yugi, yes, no, maybe, perhaps, sometimes, on occasion, here with Sam Cox, and he's going to be showing us his Fluffal deck profile.
YugiNoNo!
King prepare! Alright, so, what have you changed about the deck?
Everything, dude. I mean, Link's, honestly, man, it changed this deck, from what it used to be to something completely, different. Whenever I got back into playing this deck, probably a month and a half ago, started playing Links, I was like, what is going on? I mean, I was sitting at locals with my friends Tyler and John, and I was like, what is this? Everything I knew about Fluffals, it was out the window.
It changes.
It honestly has, but and I swore up and down that I think without Links, Brilliant was probably one of the more better builds, but this is not a Brilliant build because it's just a lot. Brilliant can work with Fluffals in Links, but I feel like it wasn't as good as this build for now, unless something changes. So, yeah.
Yeah, let's see the deck. I mean, you have topped more with Fluffals than anybody else in history. You really have. No, you have. No, don't be humble. Don't be humble. You have. Whatever. All right, so let's start this deck profile off with 3-dog.
3-dog. I mean, obviously.
Yes.
So, 2 bear and 2 wings. I mean, back in the day it was 3 and 3 or 3 and 2 or whatever, but especially with Brilliant, this was at 2. But honestly, I think that I got so used to running it at 2 that I found out that I probably should have been running it at 2 all along, even when I wasn't playing Brilliant. And we are playing other stuff just into the grave, Foolish Barrel and stuff. But I mean, yeah, it's Pot of Greed Rhoda, and this just searches for a toy vendor. For anybody that doesn't know what this does, and we haven't profiled this in forever, so yeah, so just 2 and 2. All the Fluffals.
Best ratio.
Oh yeah, for sure. Right now it is anyway. All the Fluffals don't go above 3, except for Dog, because he's a searcher. We play triple the Foolish Goods because it searches everything in the deck. So Dog's the only thing that's not at 2 or 1. So double Penguin. He's she, I don't know what it is. It's an animal.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. Assuming it's gender. So it's a draw 2, pitch 1. It's like Shit All Beast when it's sent from the hand or field of the grave when it's fused with. It also has the Kage to Kage effect where you can special summon another Fluffal the turn that it's normal. So you can try to bait out certain effects and stuff. Try to go into rank 4s, but we're actually not playing any rank 4s. Rip to Fairy Cheer Girl without Norden. So. And Links. So, anyway, yeah, so just 2 Fluffal Penguin I feel like is best. Like I said, don't play it at 3 because it's searchable. You could play it at 3, I guess, just because it helps you really just dig deeper, but we play a lot of draw on this deck, so I feel like it's alright. This is the first format I've ever played.
Yeah, you ever played Cat?
I mean, just
so crazy.
All three of them. I played Cat and Barnyard just because it was really good.
Oh yeah, Shadal. Yeah.
But all 3 of them in the same. Not until this format. Cat's actually really good with Links because it's whenever you really start to go off. When you're trying to OTK your opponent, it's a Sabertooth Turbo. That's what it turns into. And you just want to make sure that you're getting back the polys. So you can just keep going and keep bringing out more Sabertooth. Just because anybody that doesn't know, Sabertooth when it's brought back, it'll go to the link, but whatever it brings back, if it brings back Tiger, Kraken, or whatever, that actually it doesn't have to go to a link monster zone. It goes to just regular monster zone. So it's really really close all the time. 1 Owl searches for poly. If you end up not opening a poly, but you open up Foolish Barrel of Goods, you can send the toy vendor and then search for the owl that searches the poly, whatever. And if your opponent has anti-spell fragrance up, this can get around it because it is a polymerization. Sheep, because I feel like this is even more clutch now because you're able to special summon it from hand. If you ever want to just get an easy link monster out, search out Sheep with the Dog, and these 2 equal Miss Radiant by itself.
Ooh,
just because it's 2.
Yeah, 2 Earths.
Yeah,
yep.
So honestly, I almost ran 2 of these, but I just felt like it was kind of overkill. I feel like 1 sheep and 1 owl and 1 cat is just good ratios. The ratios haven't changed much from Links, except for just running all 3 of the 1-0s. We haven't really done that all in the same deck yet. So this is still at 1. You can run 2 if you want. It's really more arguably you could run it at 2 in Links than in Brilliant. So 3 King of the Swamp.
Cause duh.
I mean, some people run 1 or 2, which is cool because you run owl and it's searchable. But like with this deck being so Sabertooth driven now, like you really just want to get this out quick. And poly, like it's not a once per turn, so like if your opponent like negates whatever that comes out, whether they negate the poly or whether they negate like the tiger's effect after you activate it, or with summon it with poly, like you can still just keep going for more. This isn't a once per turn, and poly's not a once per turn either. So 3 is good, and this can be any edge imp that you need it to be in the grave whenever you activate Fluffal Fusion, except for you can't like go into like wolf with it. That's the only one. So anyway, that's not it for the monsters. We have 3 chain. This will go down to 2 when Patchwork comes out, if they ever quit jacking with us and release it.
Yeah, for real.
Dude, I mean, honestly.
That's been like pimped for so long,
like,
and they haven't done it.
And it sucked because like my friend, shout out to my friend Hunter, he sent me Japanese ones in the mail whenever I lost all my stuff at Nats, and I was like, man, like I don't know whether to be thankful because it's like a cock tease at the same time because I can't play. So I'm just sitting there staring at Patchworks, But man, this honestly, it's still the best edge in my opinion. It floats into Fragfor Fusion or Fragfor Factory when they're sent from the hand field to the grave. Pitch it off of Toy Vendor, man. Pitch it off of like the Penguin effect when you draw 2 and pitch 1. It's so clutch, man. 1 max C because you go second, man, and if you open this card, you win because your opponent will not do anything, and then you'll be okay with the cards you have in your hand, or they'll just like try to set up a board, and then like with Fluffals, man, even if you have just 6 or 7 cards, like you're good to go, like but if you end up having like 8 or 9, it's like game 2. So this is kind of weird. People might argue about this, but 2 Gofu. 3 I feel like was just really too much. Like if you open 1, that's good because it starts off your plays, gets you into decode and all that stuff, but at the same time you don't want to see another one. So I feel like I mean it's I don't know, 2. Just try to 2, and if you're like, man, I don't see
I had the same question. I was like, why are you playing 2 instead of 3?
It's just honestly, it's not bad at 2 because Gofu isn't needed. Like when people keep thinking they're handicapped by links, like it can help you, and they're like, oh man, you gotta run 3 Gofu because that's the only way the Fluffals are gonna survive. It's like, man, get real. Like you can run 2. It's fine. 3 Toy Vendor because. I mean, Tyler could tell you why you need to run 3.
Yeah, it's the best card in Herald. It's the best card in Fluffals.
So this arguably can be taken out for a poly, but I feel like the really good players can run 2 and 1. Always try to figure out how you can utilize Fusion Substitute in your first turn, just because it really helps recycling stuff back to the grave, from the grave to the extra deck. It helps you draw. I can't even count on all my hands. Like
all your hands, all two of your hands,
all my fingers. Like how many times I've been at a tournament or ARG, whatever, even at nationals, where I'm just like, man, I need just 1 more card to get me by, and like I will banish this, return like a tiger back to the extra deck or the Straphnite or something, and like I ended up drawing into like a foolish barrel goods or a dog, and I'm just like, let's go, let's keep going. Like it helps you push, man. It really it's really good. So you can run 3 poly, but this really does help. So yeah. So 3 of just amazing.
Okay, so people have criticized you for this in the past, like playing 3 of it because it's a once per turn card.
It's once per turn, but
it sends Vendor and it gives you an instant search.
Man, it's like, yeah, and not only that, but like if you already have like. You can send this too. Like it just kind of plays more into like the argument. Oh, where's that? Like you can send this to the grave and then like recycle something. Like so, it's really good, man. Like my argument about it has always been like one of the best decks of all time was whenever this deck was really good back in the day. It smashed around Pepe like really good because
it really did actually.
but the argument about Pepe, everybody's playing all the 1-ofs. Or the 3 ofs that were all once per turn. Like what was it? Like the Wavering Eyes,
a monkey board,
yeah,
like Joker,
Draco Face Off. They were all once per turn, but the deck was the best deck because you saw all your power cards. You made sure you saw all your searchable power cards, like whatever. And that's kind of the same. Like if I played 3 Patchwork, even though it's once per turn, I played 3 of that. I play 3 Chain. It's only once per turn. You play all the cards that help you push farther because you'd rather see them than not see them. And like any of your dead spells in your hand, you have to have something to pitch for Penguin anyway. So it really helps out, like, you know, having something there. So it's, I don't know. I would run 3 if you can. I got reprinted.
No. You don't have to explain yourself. You have more Fluffal tops than any other. anyone else? Like, really?
One factory. It's searchable by chain. Don't play more than one of this.
No, it's bad.
Honestly, you don't even want to open this, just because you have to have something to banish from your grave. You have to have like a fusion spell or a polymerization or something. But this is searchable by chain. It's a polymerization. Like, if you're not playing it yet, just think to yourself, have I ever fused with a chain and thought, man, I really need a polymerization right now. This searches this. And not only that, but if your opponent doesn't answer this, then it's continuous on your next turn. If you have to keep going. So by that time, like, you're plussing off of this, it can become 2 polys, which is really clutch. And also, you can banish this for cost. And then if they ever get rid of this, like, we're sent to the grave, then this goes back to hand. So, but people will sometimes banish it just because they like to. It's a smart thing to do. But 2 Fright for Fusion, because it's Fright for Fusion, man. Like, I played this at
It's 1. A miracle fusion, but
dude,
for
it's
Fluffals.
so good, man. It's so good. Like, when they came out with this card, like, a year and a half ago or whatever it was, I was just like, are they on crack? Like, this card is so good. Because, like, I mean, the old combo
like,
was just...
You dump so much to the grave
all
so
the time.
fast.
Like
yeah.
the deck's amazing just for the fact that, like, no matter what's, like, if you're plussing off of on the field, or even if you're just going 1 for 1 or 2 for 2 for, like, what's on the field, like, say you use 2 materials for Tiger to pop 2 of theirs, that's fine. You, like, go 2 for 2 or whatever. But Fright for Fusion, well, like, you get back all those, like, if you have to Tiger later, all those materials that you sent to the grave, your opponent goes neg for each material that you have on the grave. So it's like, man, play 2 of this. So you don't want to open it. Sometimes, I don't know. It's just weird. Like, you need to play 2 of it. For the 1-ups, play 1-up start.
Draw.
Yeah, just to make your deck thinner, obviously. 1 Fusion Recovery. I used to didn't main this, but it just...
But you get back a monster and a spell, right?
Yeah, you get back a monster and a spell, and it's really, really good because, like, if you can... There's a loop that if you get back this... and a polymerization, like, the next turn you can do this, and then this will get back to the polymerization again, so you get to use that poly that you brought back twice in 1 turn, just off of this card. So
okay,
that's really busted. 1 Foolish Barrel. There's a lot of combos that you can do with this. Obviously, you want to send
that chain.
Yeah, you can send the chain. Send the wings if you need to just start it off to get draw stuff going on. Send send the chain. You can return chain to the field with sheep, and then you'll have these 2 on the field, and that's where Fusion Substitute comes into play. That's just one example. Or you can send, where's that? Edgem Sabers, and then special it to the field.
Oh, yeah. Using the Plague Spreader.
Exactly.
Effect. Yeah.
If I ever open up this and these 2 together, instead of sending the wings, I'll end up sending this because I don't want to banish this because...
so you play the Pot of Desires.
Just one of them because it's more of something you want to... You don't want to open it, but if you do, it's fine because you have so much stuff that searches. Like, everything searches, like, and you. I
mean, it really, like, sometimes
so
it comes
drawing
down
anyway.
like to what else do you play.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, 2 is not good. You want to see it, but it's really clutch. Like, whenever you start your plays, and then you've already searched like this 1 of, and then you've already searched your Fusion Substitute or something, and then you see this, and you're like, wow, I don't care what I banish now because I have 3 Foolish Goods, 3 Foolish Dogs. Like, I've already sent wings to the grave, whatever. So it's just really clutch to OTK. So yeah, 1 Desires, I wouldn't play 2. 1 Allure because we're playing 3 Chain, 1 Sabers, and 2 Gofu. And a lot of times, like, another reason why I wouldn't play 3 Gofu is because after I use the first one, if I ever see the second one, you just banish it off of this, and I don't know, it's just really good. Chain's only once per turn. And yeah, if you ever get desperate, like really, really desperate, you can, search this off of Dog or Foolish Barrel of Goods, and then banish that with this, banish this with this, and then, keep going. And that's another reason why you play 3 King of the Swamp, because 3 King of the Swamp is really good because you'll see it more, and he can enact is either one of these. So if you ever have to banish these off of that, King of the Swamp just becomes more clutch. So, one thing I want to say about like the main Twin Twister is like okay, but all the spells and traps that people are playing right now, like 2 Draco stuff, you don't want it to go to the grave. You don't want to hit their Cosmotown. You don't want to hit their scales sometimes because they just like float anyway. And you play Magical Spring against Pendulums because it's the best in this deck more than any other deck, I think. So going into the extra, now we play 3 of this because
it's the best card.
So yeah, when you fuse with something and you bring something back from the grave, it goes into just a regular monster zone. Doesn't have to be Link. Stupid good. He boosts everybody by 400, all the fractors by 400. So he comes out as 28 by himself, which is really good. 2 Tiger because Tiger comes out as 22, and he pops as many things on the field up to the materials that you use for him. So like
he's like a rampage dragon.
He's so good, man. Like honestly, this card is what really made the deck like really start seeing a lot of play a couple years ago. These 2 on the field, fun fact, each of them gain 1,000 because he boosts each one by 400. And he boosts each by 300 for each Frightfur and Fluffal on the field. So like that's 3, 6, 9 or 1,000. So this is like a lot of damage just in itself. So 2 Kraken. This is not a once per turn. So if you keep bringing this back with Sabretooth, you can keep using it every single time you like. So say like you end up going into this guy, you can bring it back with Sabretooth, pop something else, and then fuse this with something else, go into another Sabretooth, bring this back again, pop something else, or just attack twice. It's either or. So
Boom.
Really helps get into the OTK really quick. 2 sheep, different rarities. I just noticed that. Yeah, shout out to my friend Hunter. He also gave me this one too. So 2 sheep. Honestly, this is it's okay. It's better for Cosmos. I'm not maining the instant fusion because I feel like whenever we were doing the testing, like it almost forced it to where you had to use the instant fusion, and that used up your link zone. And if you didn't have other stuff to go with it, it kind of like forced you to just only play Sabretooth, and you want to be able to play your other ones too. So, but this is really good against Cosmos. It wrecks Cosmos. Like for instance, say you have these 2 on the field, and then we're gonna pretend Wings is Dark Destroyer. You attack in the Dark Destroyer with Sheep. Sheep will come back as 32. He can attack again because it's a new monster. He can run over Dark Destroyer as 3,200 because he boosts this up by 4. And think of a monster that kills Dark Destroyer and it doesn't get to float.
Right.
That's nuts. Like so, this deck is really good. I topped a lot in Cosmo format.
Cosmo format? You mean Monarch
Whatever
format,
that format
boy?
was, that was so. Monarchs, man, Domain was so bad. Like it was like the
Dude,
most.
I wrecked people in that format. I love that format.
It was the most bittersweet format because it was like, am I going to play against Monarchs or Cosmos? It's either going to be like, I'm going to lose really bad if they open Domain, or I'm going to win really easy against Cosmos. So, 1 Daredevil, he comes in clutch. The extra burn really helps. He's 3K. He's the actual biggest Frightfur. So if your opponent ends up like skill draining or something, like you can at least crash like their blue eyes or something. I don't know. It's really weird. It comes in clutch when you need it to. Yeah, so 1 Leo also kind of comes in clutch if you're just trying to burn your opponent for stuff that it gets around problematic stuff. I may use him once a tournament, but whenever I need him, I'm like, dang man, I'm really glad I didn't cut him because he's kind of like bittersweet. This is probably my favorite.
The OTK.
The original
Yes.
Frightfur. Like when I first started playing the deck, it was really funny because it was back in like Shadal Burning Abyss format and stuff, and this card couldn't get over anything, so you had to keep playing like triple Mirror Force, Dark Hole, and then everything floated, so you're like, man, I can't attack. But it was really fun. Like whenever this card first came out, I was like, it's the card that made me want to play the deck in the first place. It's kind of like Tiger. You can fuse with as many materials as you want, and instead of popping the many cards, it'll attack them.
That many attacks.
Yeah, so like the original combo, and you can still do it now, I guess, depending on what your links are. Blow everything up on the field, and then all the materials you send to the grave with Fractal Fusion, use those same materials, and then just attack that many times. So it's really busted. That's it for the Frightfurs. This because all the
Extra links.
some of the Fluffals are Earths. They all used to be, but they're not anymore. This is really clutch with sheep. So, and then this will it's really fun. Like this happened every once in a while. Like it says if this card is a sword of battle or card effect, doesn't say by your opponent's battle or card effect. You can target 1 Earth monster in your grave, add to your hand. So you can pop it with Tiger. And then pop this and then return dog back to your hand. So that's really busted. Proxy Dragon, or if you don't have Proxy Dragon, shout out to my other friend Tyler that loaned me these for the profile. 2 link spiders because the 2 tokens can go into these or this.
Gofu, token,
exactly.
and then Mrs. Radiant.
And then that boy.
That boy? Is he the new that boy?
He's that boy. So, side. Okay, so I'm not gonna like try to waste a whole lot of time on the profile with a side because I'm not even. You can play Twin Twisters for problematic stuff, but
you can play Link Slayer. It's an Earth, and you summon
other
for
stuff.
free,
You can play MSTs, whatever. But I'm gonna go through the ones that actually really help. If you're playing against Cosmos, side in these. Like you can side out Upstart and Desires if you want, like whatever. To put these in.
Allure, side out Allure.
You can side out Allure, I guess. Oh yeah, because and you can side out one Gofu because Gofu you don't really need against Cosmos. You just really like against Cosmos you want to go Fright for Sheep and Sabertooth Turbo and just if you fuse Sabertooth with 3 materials, he can't be destroyed by Battle of Card Effects, so they have to use Mojo to get around it or some other random shenanigans. So it's really good. Side in these against Cosmos. Siding these against Pendulums, man.
Yeah, against the Magical Spring is so good.
I'll
never forget. I think I gave you those, right?
Yeah,
like before that tournament. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was so good. I got top 8 that tournament against.
Yeah.
Against it was like a 400-person tournament in Texas, and everybody's playing Pendulums. And I was just maining this to just savage people, and everybody's playing Pendulums. Like,
right. It was Magician format.
It was Magician format.
Yes, I was playing Magicians. Everyone was playing Magicians.
It was so good, and there were like the random Satellar matchups, but they all had like continuous floodgates up, so it's just like it worked anyway. It was good. These are Tyler's that I just jagged for this because mine are at home.
A small kaiju engine.
Yeah, I mean,
yep. Kids slumbers at 1, which sucks, but yeah.
So I mean, I feel like this is good. To side out, you might. So Upstart and Desires can be sided out. Allures can be sided out. Gofus can be sided out. So like, if you wanted to just, if you're playing against, I don't know. It's just really weird. All the matchups are really weird. I'm honestly still trying to figure out like what to side in against what. I know that these are good against Cosmos. These are good against Pendulums. Like they just wreck. This is for problematic stuff like the Kaijus are. So, and these are just your Gofu tokens. I mean, same ones used for Go. So. That's it. That's the profile.
Well, that's all your side.
That's it. I mean, honestly, like they're the ones that are like the most clutch. Like against Monarch, not Monarchs. What's that? Draco. It's just a weird matchup, man. You just gotta get out this guy and against Draco because honestly, like they have a hard time outing this. Masterpiece can't really attack over it. So since it's 2950. I don't know. It's just weird. Like, unless obviously, they can do some other random shenanigans. I know you have somebody comment at the bottom, be like, well, they can do this. Obviously, like
there's always the trolls.
There's always like
there's always the trolls. Thank you so much for showing us your updated Fluffals, dude. I appreciate it very, very much. And as always, be sure to dick slap that like button and subscribe.